Well, definitely had an opportunity to debrief from last game. February is going to bring a lot of opportunities for teams to grow, and I truly believe our team. We still have room to grow, but the thing that I'm satisfied most with is the ability to have different guys step up. Last game it was Sean East. I thought he did a tremendous job. Preparing for our road trip at Tennessee, coming off a road loss to Vandy. There's no doubt it'll be a hostile environment. There is no doubt that Tennessee will be laser focused, just based off of trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak.
Questions?
Dennis, the numbers would indicate that Tennessee is one of the best defensive teams in the country. When you watch them on tape, what do they do well defensively?
I think defensively they've done a great job of staying compact in their rotations, but also not overrunning angles and just being at the right spot. You have their size, you have their positions, but also their ability to hold teams to one possession, right? You look at a team's strength, they barely make mistakes. That's why they've been one of those teams that's potentially a 1 seed, 2 seed over a long period of time. I have the utmost respect for their head coach, Rick, and he's done a tremendous job. He's a Hall of Fame coach. I've watched his career for a long, long time, and they are consistent every season in those things that identifies his programs.
Dennis, I think only one team has shot 40% from three against them. You guys shoot a lot of threes. When you play a team that's that good on the perimeter, do you still have to be who you are? Do you still have to play to your strengths, or you have to be mindful of how good they are against the three?
Yeah, in February, you have to, not experiment with a new identity. Over 20 plus games of sample size we have to be consistent. Our guys shoot the ball and they don't try to miss shots. Ultimately, you have to credit the defense. You have to sometimes credit the environment and the consistency of our guys. I think when you look at defensive teams like Tennessee, they've done a great job, not just with, a small sample size. This is what their identity is. And the matchups gives us a different look as it relates to who we're playing. So we're going to go out and just give our very best.
Dennis, you mentioned before last game that Aiden had some things to prove to you before he was back on the court. Just what did you see from him out there last time, and will his minutes kind of carry into this matchup?
Yeah, you pose a great question, and I appreciate that. I don't think Aiden has to prove, right? Aiden is a good player. He's just in the process, right? He's in the process, early stages of his career. And whenever you're in the early stages of a career, there's going to be inconsistencies. There's going to be certain struggles. There's going to be ups and downs. What I am excited about is that his disposition, his mindset has remained consistent. It has yielded what I think it should yield, right? The ability to bounce back, the ability to recover. He does not want to not play, but sometimes in young journeys, you're going to have DMPs. And ultimately, what I'm satisfied with is the way he responded, being able to knock down that three, being able to get a back cut and execute a lob pass from Kobe, being able to defend. Now, there's other areas that he will improve on, and he has. But I'm excited about his future. There's no doubt about it. Aiden Shaw is gonna go down as one of all-time great players at Mizzou. And I'm encouraged to see him work every day because he's in the weight room. He's in getting extra shots. His personality is infectious in terms of, having fun. Being that lone freshman is sometimes a lonely place between he and Jackson Reed Francois. Those are the only freshmen in our program, and sometimes not having the sort of season to reflect on to give them a larger sample size. Will, they're growing. So I'm excited about where he's at.
Coach, you're to the point in the season, you played a lot of really good teams and, some top 10 teams like you're going to see this weekend. Where are the biggest areas of growth you've seen when you've seen your guys go up against the Kansases, the Alabamas, the Arkansas, the Illinois, and that kind of competition?
The most important opponent is ourselves. And what I see in my guys is the ability to prepare, the ability, and sometimes things don't show up in a stat sheet at all of what I'm expecting. Sometimes spacing, sometimes just the ability to work through your own mistakes, the ability to slow down a run and respond to a run after timeout, after halftime, beginning of a game. All those things matter. And hopefully when you collect all those points of references, it can prepare you for the big picture. And that big picture doesn't start for any team until postseason. And we just hope to collect enough data that we can go out and be successful. There's different styles of play in our conference. There's different styles in our non-conference schedule. And hopefully we've all prepared each other, not just our program, but our entire conference to make a run in the NCAA tournament and postseason play.
Dennis, I think you guys are 18-0 when you score 70, but I'm curious, all different styles. What's your confidence level in your team being able to go out and win a game that's in the 50s and 60s? And what do you need? What would you like to see to kind of have that ability?
Yeah, so what I look at is not the overall point. I look at the overall field goal attempts, and we have had the ability to win games with 50 field goal attempts and 46 field goal attempts. Sometimes we've won games with 76. And again, all that goes down to is free throw shooting. You have to be able to get to the free throw line when those field goal attempts are low. So hopefully when we see, a team that slows it down or something like that, or does a great job defensively, that our defense is picked up, but also our free throw shooting. Usually those games are decided by free throws, and I want to obviously win that category. And that's a great question that you asked.
Dennis, we talked about just how hard it is to win on the road. Obviously, great example of that for Tennessee the other night. Just where's the mindset going into this game, and how important is starting quickly?
Well, home road, as you mentioned, all of it matters. Tennessee is coming off a loss to Vandy. And I knew after we played Vandy and Jerry Stackhouse that they would beat some teams. There is no doubt about it. That team is a very good team. They're probably one of the longest tenured teams when you look at the nucleus of who they are, of being together and playing in game. They have age, they have size, they have shooting ability, and they have a great coach. So when you look at our conference altogether, that won't be the last time a team steps up when they've been doubted or they've been counted against and they, quote unquote, upset. I don't believe in the term upset. I believe in the term of just being better that night. And that's the objective of matchups. That's the objective of being prepared the best you can so that you can go out any night. Anyone can win, anyone can lose at this point as teams have gotten better over a period of time.
Coach, you look at Tennessee's offense, they like to move the ball a lot, especially with a guy like Zakai Ziegler. What are some things you can do defensively to slow down a team that likes to share the ball?
Well, I think defensively, we have to continue to do what we do. Personnel, you have to know personnel and try to disrupt individual scoring opportunities, meaning how does players usually get to their sweet spot, whether it's left hand dribble, right hand dribble, left shoulder, right shoulder, hook shots, depending on that player in the operating area that they're used to operating in. You have to understand that and try your best. Although we understand you can give your best defensive effort, and at this level, teams and players are going to always be able to make difficult shots. We just cannot be discouraged. We have to go take that ball out of bounds and get to going on what we do. And I think we've had the ability and shown the ability to do that. Tennessee and Rick Barnes do a great job of moving the ball, as you mentioned. But ultimately, sometimes, you can disrupt it no different than we have to be able to lead possibly the country in steals. That's something that may cause them apprehension when it comes down to passes where they will be more cautious and be more hesitant. I think that comes natural. Especially when we're a team that press. They're going to work on things. This isn't the first time they played against a defensive team like such or a team that presses or full court man-to-man. So they're going to be prepared. They've been in basketball games. They've been in tough battles. I just think their level of focus is definitely going to be there, having lost that last game at Vandy, which is an in-state rival for them.
Time for one last question.
Dennis, do you expect to be at full strength roster-wise for this road trip?
Well, in terms of the day-to-day part, that's why I always say what I say. Trago Million has been running tremendously, and he's done that the last week. I'm just making a decision to be as cautious as possible when you're dealing with a growing strain, growing injury. And the same with Ronnie DeGray with his knee sprain. The same thing with Isaiah. Same thing with Kobe. If a kid comes to me and says that, Coach, hey, this is what's going on, I have to make an executive decision with their body to protect them at all costs, and that's what I'll continue to do. So I'm excited about our depth, the ability to have moving parts. I think that's important when you build a team, as we've shown the ability to do that with different scores, different leading scores in different games. So,
all right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks.